This is for Libra. General reading, rules can be reversed, may not resonate. Shamrock Tarot. Hello. I'm getting more you have questions about the shift. The shift happened. A lot of questions have been answered through last month, at least. Go back last month. Cancer and Virgo has been asking a lot of questions. I haven't been listening really to anybody. A couple of readers, they just punch out monthlies. I just, pulled myself out of all the drama and I shut the door. We all know I'm on a twin flame journey. Oh my God, I can't take it no more. So someone comes in my life, they literally have to have no more drama. I've been nice, not violating people's privacies, and it's just been one punch after another, and I'm not dealing with it. So, anyways, I think you're asking questions about what's going on with the shift. The shift happened. We only have a lineup every 40 years. That happened in June. And then there was the lineup with when Jupiter came in the closest to us. That happens every 70 years. So we're already at our building into our next future, our next life. So everybody's in the solar sphere, S-P-H-E-R-E. You're in Mother Earth. Everybody got tested on their magic, pass or fail. Nobody did anything, with it good, trying to control people, sacrificing the innocent, all that mumble-jumble stuff. Then we have the star seeds coming in. They're the new crowd that gets tested. Then you go into the Mercury sphere. That has to do with if you are being a doctor or scientist, then you would stay in there and have a pretty strategic lesson plan. Most people don't. You just get your life lessons for that sphere, and then you go to Venus sphere. Now, Venus sphere, you have to be working out your heart space your whole duration of your life, which most people don't. And so that's either pass or fail. And then you automatically go into your solar plex chakra sphere. That's where you're writing your lessons for your next life. So that's where that is. We are a multi-dimensional universe. Stop trying to look so far out. If you cannot listen to Lee Carroll, you can, on the settings for YouTube, you can hit fast forward and it will speed up the voice. If not, go onto his website and look for some books that intrigue you. There's Patricia. She monitors the I Am Presence. Her name's Patricia. Look for some books or podcasts for her. There's no reason for me to repeat stuff that people do that have already written. It's just a waste of time and breath for me. They're supposed to be retiring and they're not, and so I'm just giving them a flood. Let's see here. Natalie Glasson. Like I said, you can just press fast forward and it speeds up how fast they talk on their podcast. There's David Wilcox. You're going to have to go back to get caught up, a couple years. Even David, his podcast, some of his are like 3 hours long. So you had to have the time to sit down and watch it and to get caught up. That's about it. They all have books on their websites. You can get a book. If it's too much, look on eBay. They're like half the price. No, they're not cursed. All the spells have been broken anyways. But, there was a group that was trying to do curses, but they were trying to make an imaginary star system, so that really wasn't working out very well for them. And then this deck I got for my birthday, Lightworker, Tarot, and Oracle. She's on Etsy, and YouTube. She does monthlies. You're either stuck in an ecosystem, meaning you're resourceful and you got what you deserved, or happy what you deserved, you're okay living in your dwelling. Like I said, the dwellings are a blessing. They're called base. Ecosystem, meaning you're living out of your means. You're learning how to work on a budget, support your family, all that kind of stuff. Living out of your means. Being forced to pick up a second or third job. Learning how to live without the things that you don't need on a daily basis that you think you need. Or you're stuck in the earth realm where the shootings and all that stuff, the death, the blood, you know, worrying about water. I mean, some communities are worrying about water, more than one. So there's a community, Missouri, Mississippi River's drying up. There's a place in Arizona that's drying up. There's California's drying up. That's connected to Colorado, and up in where the Flint, the water is still tainted out there. They're all out of water. And then people just waste water. Oh, I don't like that person, so I'm just going to run the water on them. Yeah, they're in big trouble. God is monitoring everything now. We got down to the chosen people now that we're monitoring. Transformation, empowerment. Take ownership of planning and exerting your highest potential. Even the smallest step forward is a leap in the right direction. New outlook. Sometimes we cannot see things for what they are. Examine the situation from another angle to see something differently. Yeah, everybody's 5D is blocked because your higher self either passed or didn't pass. So if you're not getting through to anybody, they didn't pass. So you just have to be patient until someone gets to you. They're testing your patience. Telepathy. You and another are connected in the spiritual realm and can transmit thoughts and emotions. So there is somebody you're talking to, or they're trying to come through. So you need to spend a lot of time in quietness. Write your questions down. I forget, what was the problem? Reading or the writing? That's why I listen to the podcast. There's so much. I mean, when you get older, it's harder. You know, my eyes, I can't read as long as I want to anymore. You know, your hands get stiff. The podcasts are the best thing to do. And you don't need, like Kindle, you need a membership, but you don't need a membership. You already pay for YouTube probably. So, and if there's something that really intrigues you, like I said, look on eBay for the book. You can get it at half price probably. Okay. Oh, I guess we'll grab another one out of here. Intuition. The gut feeling and certainty you feel about this is your intuition. Trust it. Your higher self knows what is best for you. Trauma and wounds. Deep, familiar, and past life wounds are causing an impact in this life. Identify repetitive patterns to allow healing and releasing. Yeah, if you're too dense, you can't move on because we're light bodies. So you have to be lighter. So if you're holding on to that trauma and still without releasing it and forgiving, it makes you denser. So you have to release all that and forgive and forget. It happened for a reason. It's in God's hands. You know, you really have to meditate on releasing that. This guy must be a Scorpio. I swear this deck only wants to come out in Scorpio season. This is a pretty good, easy book. It's very short. The passages are very small. You could read it like in a weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's very small. definitely headaches, people trying to get through and bother you. That overflow. Start being more strict with them. You answer their questions, you gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move, gotta move, you know. I mean, if you're in class, so say you're offering your hour, you know, you're not allowed to keep interrupting the teacher like that. Nobody's allowed to do that. So be a little more stricter. You know what? Your higher self is coming in. It's here again. Telepathy and your intuition. Compassionate action and family forever. This person you really need to release. Rewriting the past. So what would you have changed about it? Why would you have changed? You're still waiting on an answer of why it happened, but they want you to figure it out for yourself. If you go all the way back in the beginning of history, okay, I mean, let's go all the way back to the Egyptians. Okay? Lots of incest, lots of raping, lots of people marrying their cousins and daughters and brothers and da-da-da-da. You need to go all the way back and you need to clear that. You need to figure out who you are. Because eventually it's only the high priestesses that end up getting initiated. They really started narrowing things down by the time we got into the Hermes and Apollo, New at Alexandria. By the time we merged up and we were merging with the Romans and stuff like that. So they really started narrowing the bloodline down. So you need to figure that out. It's not like, oh, you have the family blood. No, we all have the family blood. Okay, and then it gets into the mixing of the blood. So you need to, where you have it on both sides. So then you need to really sit there and filter out your bloodline. Go through your family names. I mean, you can get ancestry. It's not going to be clarity on ancestry, but you're getting the family names. You're going to have to sit there, and it's a lot of work, and it takes at least over 2 weeks, full-time sitting there, filtering out the family names, where everybody's from. Yeah, it's a headache, and you need to do it. Nobody's going to do that for you. You have to do it to yourself. You need to figure out who you are and why you're at where you're at. You know, you made it to America. Now you're still upset about something here. The worries and fears. You have to release that. You have to accept things for the way they are. Get it out in writing. You're at the doorway. Light or dark. Where are you going? If they have to push you, you're going to push off the ledge. That would be the dark into the dark night of the soul. And that's it. And they will close the gate and close this chapter on you until they need you again and call your name again. Moving forward. Looks like you had an offer or something like that and you cut them out. Because you couldn't read them. And you feel like you're being punished for that. Somebody was juggling finances. And justice had to come in to rebalance the scales. You couldn't tell if they were a player or not. Well, I was trying to explain to the one girls, you know, some of them playing the field, and you know, you only get so many men. You're not going to have an endless amount of men coming in your whole life. I mean, you get who you get, and if you want to play the field, you know, you play all of them, then that's it. You don't get any more coming in. You know, you would know better about the whole tribal thing, you know. The only one that gets to sleep out of the tribe is the one that marries someone in a different tribe. So, you know, you're in warrior mode for some reason. A lot of people are. Yeah, you're at a halt with this, your family energy. There's still stuff that hasn't been illuminated for you. Here's a strength card. So you really need to get that taken care of. Because it came around and you just put it aside. Yeah, there's no money for donations. People are probably waiting for Christmas. The younger crowd, if you got younger crowd coming in, they definitely don't have any money. You know that. Can you do the coffee thing? At least have something paid for tea or something. Something that you need at home. You know, people living out of their means, having cars, and they don't even need a car. Something selling, something isn't working out for you. You're in sorrow. You're definitely sad. That is coming up like three times already. A younger woman. Oh, they said something to you that you didn't like and you dumped them. Okay. Something about your business. That you're holding on to a hope, a string that's not feasible. And it made you depressed. Melancholy means depressed. It's an old term that they used to use, but they don't use it anymore. Yes, you released this lover. You were their sweetheart, and you're fighting the tower over it. Something about the word servant. You're being like a slave to the public or something they were trying to tell you, and you're waiting on like this magical thing to happen, and it's not going to happen is pretty much what he told you. But that's the problem with living in any kind of service, any kind of church, the pastor's wife, being a pastor. You know, sometimes you're going to get lots of donations, sometimes you're not. So you have to, you know, stop comparing yourself to other people. Everybody's different. Everybody's style is different. Everybody's... A lot of people signed up, you know, energetically, and they all got their donations at the beginning, and now the donations aren't coming in. That's been going on a lot with a lot of the girls. The younger girls, I really haven't been watching them. They give me a headache. It's just too much. I can't deal, you know, with all the younger kids like that. Them dealing with their day-to-day, daily life problems that they need to learn how to manage, you know. Don't compare yourself. You know, this isn't a competition. This isn't, you know, someone learned that the hard way, wanting to beat out the competition, be the best, wants to be famous, this and that, da-da-da-da-da. Well, that's, you know, even if you write a book and you don't, you know, say you write a book, okay, or you want to write a book, the only way that that book you're going to get your name out there is if you know someone who's famous. So even if you take Sylvia Brown, okay, she knew Montel and she was able to get on his show and able to promote her products, okay, and her books and her services and stuff like that. And they were really good friends. So if you don't know somebody in the famous industry, or if you don't have your foot in the door somewhere, it's not going to happen. Okay, just like if you're a model, your career's over. Even if you're an athlete, your career is over at 35. Okay, so unless you're in the Olympics and you got some contracts with the TVs and the commercials and stuff like that, nobody knows who you are. Okay, and there's no money. There's absolutely no money. Everybody's holding everything in. The gas prices are outrageous. Look how much it is to buy a used car. It's ridiculous. So, I told Jens for over a year or two, you know, what can you live with? What can you live without? Okay? So whatever this guy said, oh, well, you're like, fuck you. And he just doesn't understand. I mean, what does he want you to do? You're making, you know, your bills are paid. You just don't have any extra money to do what you want. And if he can't step in to spoil you and pick that tab up, then no, he's not for you. You'll suffer. Why would you be with a miserable bastard? And, you know, that's the nice thing about being in nice relationships. Yeah, you have 2 paychecks. You know, some guys are very more stingier than the women, you know. There's no need to fight about it. There's no need to be depressed over it. You know, once he said something you don't like, there's no need to be arguing for the sake of arguing. You know, he doesn't understand. Anything else? Like, what does he care? As long as you're happy and your bills are paid, what does he care what you're doing with your spare time? If you're not out whoring around, sleeping with men, well, you know, he's at, what does he care what you're doing? That's what I don't understand. If it makes you happy, It's not hurting anybody. You've already invested all this amount, you know, of time into it. Why would you quit? It's not a complete failure. Yeah, you need to find more mystery in what you're doing. Definitely do the family research. Put your, whatever this situation is you got to lay it to rest. It's over and dead. Use your intuition. Pay attention to some prophecies. Connecting with the water. Yeah, you're independent. Set your healthy boundaries. Set some boundaries with yourself. Like, what am I looking for in a relationship? Do you want, you know, your strength and your powers with your love? What can you offer? You're in some fairy energy with your feelings and emotions. Yeah, and this asshole disrupted your flow. There's some pond energy. There's the lily pads, the leap pads were the frogs. You can look that up. But, you know, taking that quantum leap. You know, what are your strength and powers with love, with unions? What are you looking for? Do you want someone to live with? You know, because you got to be careful. They'll put on Mr. Charmer until they got you in the foot in the door, got a ring on you, and then they're a whole different person. You know how men are. Yes, loyal. You are very loyal. So, it's okay. Yeah, the Emperor. The Wise Counsel. Well, his attitude just sucks. Logic and organized will increase your success. Take charge of a situation. Accept a leadership role. Structure and discipline. I'm going to be talking about leadership in Virgo's next message. Probably listen to it. Definitely Aries sticking out. The Sword of Truth. Be truthful to yourself. X, Y, and Z. Write them down. You know. Wise Counsel. Unity with a spirituality-minded community. Ask the divine for help and trust the answers will come. Compare traditional methods with new ideas to see which is best for you. Well, you can't move again. I mean, what do you have? Do you feel not safe, or what happened again? I could say that for another reading. You need to get this out of here. Justice. What's the objective of the thing? Stand up for what you believe. Try to see all sides of a situation. You will win if your position is one of integrity. Yeah, take what he's saying, you know, and you understand that, but this is how you feel about the situation. Neans aren't married, so why would you even, if it's already starting off, I guess, with him bossing you around and trying to make you feel like a piece of shit, or you're wasting your time doing what you're doing. I mean, come on now. The illustrations, but you don't want to be that bitch either. Mother effing somebody and telling them the F, you know, you want to be logical and be responsible about this. Stick up for what you believe in. Here's the ego now. Sometimes the dragon is the ego. The illustration of being trapped. Accept responsibility for your situation and then make choices that support your path to happiness, addiction, or unhealthy habits. Maybe get some angel decks. That's what I did when, like, my boyfriend passed over. It really helped a lot, you know. We are getting into the angel season with Christmas and stuff, you know, so you want to tap into this Holy Spirit. So much to celebrate. You can't be, you know, there's no more blending it. It's either light or dark. You're at the doorway. So much to celebrate. Send gratitude to the divine and the angels, the four rods, for the peace and prosperity coming to you. Peace and contentment for your personal life. So that really sums it up right there. This is the 4 Earth on the bottom here. Managing your resources wisely. Extremes in how you give or receive money, time, or emotions. Smart business decisions. Seeing things as black or white. Being charitable. You can give your time if you don't have money, okay? You know, volunteer at churches or the Red Cross. This angel deck. I like him. He's alrighty, talk to you later. Bye.